Yes. Next.
No, totally, 100%.
Are you filming? Fuck me, I've ruined it already. Just straight away fucked it up.
Luke being Luke. But emotions, man. Tell me you've ever done a bodybuilding show and hasn't been an amount, you know, a pile up of emotions leading into it.
Well, it's a good question. Like, do you do it? Okay, do you do it out of emotion,
or do you get emotion from it?
Or do you get emotion from it?
Both.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I do it. I think it's a really difficult question because what's the emotion to do? Are you chasing? What emotion are you chasing? What are the reasons?
The emotion I've had to do it is seeing what I want and feeling. I don't know. Like there's an emotion that makes me go, I really want to get on stage.
Yeah.
Like I really need to fucking do it.
Basically, it isn't just a decision made on logic alone, is it?
No.
Something spurs the want.
Well, I do bodybuilding because of what I get out of it. The emotions I draw from it. It allows me to build a sense of happiness and pride from the training and from competing and all that. I don't think I'm emotionally driven to do it, but you have to have a certain level of emotional understanding to be able to pursue it to that level. Yeah. But I don't think it's like, why'd you do it? I do it because it makes me really happy. Because it fucking doesn't. It's bollocks. and I hate it. But that's kind of the fun thing. I think it's like one thing about bodybuilding, you have to learn how to be a bit more of a master of your own emotions. Because if you're an emotional wreck, which most people are these days, you can't be a bodybuilder. And that's not to say that the three of us are not emotionally all over the place, but when you
know how to direct it.
And I think it's a good way to pour your emotions into something directly, and it's rather than let them all kind of go willy-nilly.
Would you agree that a lot of the time, let's say, you know, when you're in prep for a show and it's getting hard in the morning doing that cardio, what would you say is the thing that kind of keeps you going? Because for me personally, it feels like the fuel itself at times like that is an emotion.
Well, it depends. I mean, what do you like, Donna? Do you consider motivation and discipline? Do you consider those two emotions?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So is it
the discipline? The discipline gets me out of bed and to do my cardio. But if I put my headphones in and envision myself on stage doing what I really love to do, the emotion really drives the rest of my day. I can't wait to eat.
It's a bit of a circle there.
But what emotion is that?
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, I think that's the point of the question is like trying to find out what the emotion is. Like what is the specific reasoning for doing it? Because are you doing it for happiness? Probably not really. It's like, are you doing it to be angry? No. Like why?
Just because you fucking love it.
Yeah.
Like if I think about being on stage performing, I fucking love it.
Do you know what this just shows you though? How broad bodybuilding is, because there'll be preps that are different than others. Some will be off the back of maybe a catastrophic event. Yeah. Something bad may have happened in your life that has propelled you in the position.
We'll talk about that.
You know what I mean?
Obviously, this like last year, you went through one of the worst things you could ever go through. That's losing your mother.
Yeah.
So how is that like from an emotional standpoint now? How are you compared to then? Like what's changed in your perception?
Well, you know, I happily say at the time, I chose to do another bodybuilding show after because I actually needed a distraction. So if anything, it was actually, I wasn't using the emotion as fuel actually at the time, because if I concentrated on the emotions I was feeling, I probably would have broke down. I was distracting myself from the emotion. But once I came off the stage with a result that was one that I was pretty happy with, like you said earlier, I was flooded then with positive emotions, which made it all worth the while. I actually feel like you're sometimes actually a little bit void of emotion during a prep, and then they come suddenly at the end.
You have to become very stoic.
You do have to.
You have to become stoic. You have to learn to compartmentalize emotions. Like if you're feeling really sad, it could be for no reason or it could be a reason. You have to put that to one side to focus on what you need to do. And I think that's one of the cool things is you learn how to handle pressures. You learn how to kind of operate around external influences a lot.
Yeah.
You can use. It's not a question of pick and choosing emotions. You just learn how to deal with them better.
I think there's a right way and a wrong way to do it as well. I think obviously how you've done it, you used all those negative feelings and emotions in a really positive way.
Yeah.
But some people will use that in a destructive way. They'll stop everything in their life and just bodybuild and just do this and just do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it can be destructive as well.
So, like, the feeling I'm getting from this conversation is that although this is a bodybuilding discussion, what we have to just face is that in everything that we do in life, in all that we wish to do, emotions are present.
Yeah.
And it's down to you to choose to use them in a positive light.
You can't,
or a negative light.
Yeah, you can't choose your emotions, but you can choose how you deal with them.
Yeah.
You can't choose to be, if you're sad, you're sad. If you're angry, you're angry. You can't really choose.
It's what you do with it.
It's what you do with it. And I think with bodybuilding or any venture in life, if you're in a contest prep, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
If you constantly go, this is shit, I'm suffering, this is fucking bullshit, I hate it. Versus, right, we've got work to do, let's get up, let's go, let's give today 110%. You could be feeling inside the exact same way. That's two ways of handling the same emotion. One turning it into a positive, one making it a negative.
So ultimately, really...
I don't think we've answered the question.
No, but I wanted to add to that, Luke. I feel like ultimately, can I just add something to that? Ultimately, as long as you don't just sit and wallow, you're probably doing something positive with emotions.
The thing is,
but I'm not. I'm talking about negative actually. But then again, what about all the positives? I think just remaining to be active and having goals.
One of the things about bodybuilding that people forget is when you do this out of choice. Don't fucking moan. If you don't like it, fuck off and do something else. If you like it, make something constructive and positive out of it.
I really love it when people say that as well. Like, you choose to do this. I think everyone needs to hear that and be told that at some point.
It's like, it does my head when people are like, oh, I'm starving, I'm doing this. Listen, motherfucker, you're eating 6 meals a day. There are some people in this world that don't even get that a month.
Everyone needs
and you're
to hear
doing,
that.
you are not starving. Yes, it's difficult, but you are choosing to do it. Where it is like, you use it as a sense of pride, turn it into something constructive. And don't let it burn the lives of everyone around you as well. But again, the more I've done this, the better I've been in tune with my own emotions.
Yeah.
So I don't think that answers it, but there you go. It's a pretty good little discussion there.
What about emotions in actual training? How to apply emotions in the correct way?
This is a fucking good question. Like emotions when training. Do you have a switch that you turn on and off?
I have done many a time, and I especially did last year.
Yeah.
Last year I used a lot of it for my training.
Yeah.
It was a massive fuel. There were times.
Do you remember when Kai Green said years and years ago? He said
Ronnie Coleman.
When he talked about Ronnie Coleman, he said, "How can you be a nice,
800-pound
peaceful
squat
man and put 800 pounds on your back and squat it?
You can't.
You can't really. It's true." And I also think as well, like the way we train, you have to know what true anger and violence is to be able to train the way we do.
I feel so.
And I find it a really good way to put any of that negative energy we've been talking about. I put it into my training, and I can turn it on and off. I'm there to have fun, but when it's time to do a set,
I think that's what makes you really good at what you do, though, because you can just flip it on and like you can be sat down in the middle of a set, just completely chilled, having a conversation, or doing something else. And then you just switch it on.
it's mad. Especially training with you, James, because 1 minute we're like, oh, this is really fun. Next minute he's like, come on, go.
Yeah, we're very,
and you flip like that.
Yeah,
and my mind does the same. That's not normal.
That's an ability, yeah.
That's I definitely think that's from experience, because I imagine in the beginning of our training we probably spent a lot more time stuck in that kind of, because I did in the beginning of my training. I would last like that for a whole session because I didn't know how to turn it off, and I probably came across a bit more of an arsehole back then.
Yeah.
And then the better I've got at bodybuilding and the further I've got in it, the more I've been able to be quite happy-go-lucky. And then when the set comes around, I'm just like, bam, let's turn it on.
Yeah.
Because like I've noticed with you and I, we're so
chill
like
as
when
hell.
we train all the three of us together, we're in between sets, we're quite relaxed and we're like talking a little bit, and like it's quite pleasant.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's go time, when you strap yourself into the bar, me and James are like, let's fucking go, Donna. You're like, you have to turn it on.
And do you think that's when you do turn it on, being an emotion video? Do you think you're somehow subconsciously mustering up a lot of emotion during that set?
No, I don't know actually, because I think when I'm in a set, I actually turn off. I turn everything off,
to blank.
and I just go blank, and then that's what I need to focus on. But one thing I know that at the end of a workout, when I finish the session, if I look back at that session and I didn't hold back then at all, I did everything I could do, there's a sense of pride there.
Yeah.
And also that negativity that I've kind of put into sets, it's gone at the end of the session.
Yeah.
It's a way of like clearing all that shit out.
Yeah. So
It's just therapy, man. It's therapy, man. You gotta like become one with the iron, man. So
have you noticed that you've been better at your bodybuilding perhaps result, or just how well you're doing in the gym when things are hard, when you're maybe having a hard time?
No.
Because I have.
Personally, I have.
What, so you're saying you're better at your bodybuilding is better when your personal life is in shambles?
No, but I wouldn't say it is all the time, but I have noticed that No, actually, do you know what? This is the honest truth. The best I've done is when I've been just switched off and cold. Which doesn't mean I'm being having a shit time, but it just means I'm not concentrating on everything that's positive outside. It's weird.
That switching off and being cold, that's going back to being stoic. You have compartmentalized your emotions to such an extreme, and sometimes that's what it takes.
Well, when I won the British in 2014, I was in a relationship. It was a good relationship. It was very average, and I chose for it to be an average relationship. It sounds bad, but I wasn't overly infatuated or loved up because my greed to be good at this outweighed my wants for a perfect relationship. And sometimes I find that you only have so much energy to kind of direct in areas.
Have you also noticed?
You get so comfortable as well.
Yeah, and my honest opinion is if I'm super in love with someone, of course they're going to come first. So I actually have chose to not be, like a lot of my life, not to be with someone who I care about too much, so that I don't get distracted. And that sounds really odd. And a lot of people watching this
I know what you mean.
Weird.
I know what you mean. I think a lot of people might misinterpret that.
Yeah. It's not. I'm not trying to be an arse.
Yeah.
But what you're saying, what it sounds like, you're very level-headed and balanced. You're emotionally learning how to balance your life, not just your bodybuilding, your life with your bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You have to.
For example, so like an A-list celebrity could come walking past now and be like, "Come with me," and because of my nature and my bodybuilding, and I know that it's not a positive force, I'd say no. Quite straight to. I mean, I know I'm bodybuilding. Because the bodybuilding comes first.
I'll be like, I'll see you after.
But yeah. But what about you? Because you sound like you had a different kind of tale to tell there. You was almost...
I think a couple of my best preps and wins have been off of a horrific relationship or breakup.
Yeah.
Because it's almost an opportunity to just change everything. To be like, right, come on, get yourself back on track, and just find me again. And I have had points in my life that I've, got a great life, but I've had points in my life where I've been like, I really want to get up and do my cardio just so I can get out of here and just so I can go and do this. And I need to get to the gym just to get that time by myself and kind of put me first.
Yeah. But isn't that amazing?
Really
See,
that shows you're very... Imagine if you do good at those times. Imagine how good you can do when everything's in line.
See,
I said this recently. I said to someone the other day, they said, "What? How's your training?" I said, "It's not as... I've got no..." I might have even said it to one of you. I've got no aggression. I've got no kind of like, come on, let's do it. I've just been so chilled and just so happy.
It's
and
the desperation.
Kind of like,
and it's
I've got no
strange for you.
heartache. I've got no external problems.
Yeah.
I'm not fighting against. And whenever I've prepped, I've been fighting against something, and it's maybe go, I'm gonna fucking win this. You're gonna watch me win this. And this time I'm like, I'm chilled.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm finding aggression from other places.
Yes.
Just for the training.
You almost have to manufacture it yourself from nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're not in a bad place.
Yeah.
So
But
therefore you
I'm
have to
finding
create
it,
some sort of,
And I am finding it, which is hard to do.
it's good though. Like, it's good if you can, because I'm the opposite of you, actually, in that respect. I can't, if my home life is, or like my personal life is in a bad way,
turn into a water buffalo.
It affects me no matter how, so looking at last year, the times I did the best was when my home life was
when things are peaceful, yeah.
When things are not peaceful in my personal life, it's like you're an artist. You couldn't fucking sit there and draw your best art with somebody with a drill going off by your head. You might be doing the drawing, but you are not. You can't be 100% focused on it when you have all that outside noise, and that's something I'm not very good at. Is like drowning that outside noise out.
Yeah.
Like I could do everything exactly the same. Like I never miss meals, I never miss training, I never miss cardio, but the end result's always different if some shit's going on in my life.
Yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting hearing what you had to say. But I think with what you said is you've learned how to turn that into a positive, whereas I just cry all the time.
Yeah.
So.
But I used it as such a fuel for such a long time. I actually thought, if I'm in a good, healthy relationship and then I prep, is it going to
affect your result? Yeah, will I be as good?
Which is probably not a healthy thing, but
I don't think it's funny because every question we're kind of going over now, neither of us or none of us have a consistent direct answer.
No, because the truth is...
I think we've all contradicted each other as well, because emotions aren't, this is your emotions, let's put it in a box. Your emotions are just fucking wet
The
paint.
title of this video should be Human Beings Are Not Something You Can Understand.
The title of this video should be Bodybuilders Are Fucked.
Yeah.
It's a really interesting conversation to have because I'm no good at talking about emotions. on one hand, I think, oh, I'm really good at this. I've managed to be able to sort this out, and then something will happen. I'm going to shit again.
Yeah.
So
I'm sometimes glad bad things have happened along the way for some of our preparations, because like I said to Donna there, if you're able to get through a prep, because prep's tough. They're hard things. They're not easy. Let's be honest here. If you can get through preps when like you've had a pretty savage time at home, or you lost someone, or things aren't working out for you, I feel like there's definitely great hope for when things are running smoothly. Like you can be even better. Yeah. And that's what I always remind myself. You know, I did well considering. I'm going to do even better when things are good, and I'm going to make things good.
That's the route, yeah.
Yeah.
So what is the point in everything you've just said?
I don't know. Just to let people know what we're how we operate.
This is just
how special we are.
We're just brainstorming. You have to have 100% of your emotions if you want to do well in bodybuilding. You have to be in tune with everything you do. You can't. But the issue there is, it sounds very easy when you put it like that. But each individual emotion can run away with you at times, because you can't control how they come out. They're there. They just fucking happen.
If you use all these emotions and you direct them to bodybuilding, what happens after bodybuilding when you don't have bodybuilding anymore? How do you deal with your emotions then?
Exactly.
Like it's like, you know, any athlete in any sport, once they stop competing, a lot of, you know, top athletes hit some sort of depression, and because where do those emotions go? It's
one of it can either go one of two ways. You can either just, like you said, fall into a depression where you don't have anywhere to direct those emotions, or you can learn everything you've learned through your discipline to actually apply those same emotional responses and the way you kind of handle it to something else in your life and create something else positive.
Yeah.
But I see bodybuilding, I've never seen it as a negative. It's only a positive. But just the nature of the beast, when you dedicate yourself something to a certain level, you will go through severely hard times.
Yeah.
But it's how you handle those that really decide whether you're a champion or not.
Yeah, everything is down to, you know, they say life is 90% what happens to you, 10% how you react.
It's the other way around.
And it's...
I'm pretty sure it's the other way around. I'm pretty sure it's 10% of what happens to you and 90% of what I react to.
I was never a mathematician.
But I don't think you have to be a mathematician.
Let's keep this in there because that's great, because that shows you how I am. I will dig out the most brilliant quotes and I will fluff them up. But anyway, yeah, as Luke quite rightly said, the other way around.
Well, 76% of statistics are all just made up on the spot. So,
see, I would sit here and think he's telling the truth because I'm that kind of guy. But yeah, anyway, remember, guys, we're going to wrap up now because we've spoke for too long. And,
sharp.
Yeah, we got to go and train some back. Donna's getting cold, so...
Donna's got a total war.
I have. Kind of.
Total war and coffee.
All right,